Hey, everybody, we're back here on What the Flick. These two, the people on the right side of the table, saw a film called What's Up, Kyra?
Where is Kyra?
Where is Kyra? Alonso and I are going to play a trivia game. You guys are going to review the movie.
Let me describe it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Michelle Pfeiffer is Kyra, and she is a middle-aged woman. She's unemployed. She's moved back in with her elderly, ailing mother to help care for her in this very cramped and dark and cluttered apartment in Brooklyn. And when her mom dies, which happens early in the film, it's not a spoiler, Kyra has to figure out how to stay in that apartment. It's all she has. And she becomes increasingly desperate in her efforts to find money and survive. Take a look.
How's your day going?
Oh, pretty good. You okay?
I love you.
I love you, Mommy. Mommy?
It's really good to see you. Your mother. I'm really sorry. You all right?
You notice, like, nothing you worked for is working. Thank God for my mom. She saved my ass. No.
We'll figure this out.
I can't lose this apartment. I'd like to cash this, please.
Who's Ruth?
That's my mother.
Only she can cash her own check.
So this is chilling. This is perhaps the best work of Michelle Pfeiffer's career ever, and she so often gets cast for her beauty. She gets cast as these devastating, kind of unattainable beauties, and this gives her the chance to really, really show the dramatic depth that she has hinted at quite frequently and has been lurking there. I mean, she's a Oscar nominee, but multiple Oscar nominee, but this is, I would say, the best work of her career.
I think she puts in terrific work here. So does Kiefer Sutherland.
Right. Who is he?
He plays this kind of barfly that lives in the same building, that develops a relationship, that he's trying to get past some problems he's had in his life and kind of gets sucked into hers. And I found this really frustrating because there's two things in this movie that just took me out of it completely. One, it's so dark you almost can't see what's going on, and sometimes.
I want to talk about
right,
that.
which
yes.
That I would have been able to roll with, but the thing that almost completely ruins this movie is the score. The score in this movie is so awful.
It's not even really a score.
Right, it's like
just noise.
Loud, banging, jangling, awful, discordant ugliness that doesn't do anything for the story. Like I don't think it does anything. There's these scenes where you see this figure walking and you hear all this. It's like it comes from a different movie.
Yeah.
It's like a 12-year-old trying to do what Johnny Greenwood does in some of his better scores. I hated the score here so much that it took me out of the movie.
It is frustrating, and I reviewed it for RogerEbert.com, and I gave it the 3.5 stars versus something higher, like maybe even a 4, because of the score and the director, Andrew Dosunmu. He uses this noise, this sound, to heighten the crisis and the anxiety of certain moments, and it's a massive contrast to the quiet of it and the as you say, the darkness of it, the intimacy of it. And I guess he's trying to jolt you, trying to shock you out of the kind of the stupor that Kyra is in. But I also found it really, really distracting and really frustrating. As to the way it's shot, we were mentioning earlier when we were talking about the Solo trailer, Bradford Young shot that. He shot this as well. And he works really beautifully in shadows, in darkness, kind of like my buddy Roger Deakins. He'll use darkness in a really powerful way, and he'll shoot them like Kyra and her mom in the beginning, like down a dark hallway, and like you just see a crack of them through like the sliver of light in the bathroom where she's helping her mom take a bath, and so you sort of feel like you're trespassing on this bubble they've created for themselves.
It's voyeuristic, right?
Yeah.
Like there's the scene where she's trying to get the job in the restaurant, and like she goes back, and you're what feels like you're across the street, looking in the window, looking at her, and so that, and again, the way it's shot, like at this point, I'm complaining about it because the music pissed me off so much. Like that's the thing is this noise that happens in it, I think takes away. I think that tension would have been there just fine, or maybe a different score, but it's just over the top.
It is, but this movie does so much else so right. And he will hold on her face. There's a moment, the most heartbreaking moment for me in the film, where she has to go back to her ex-husband and ask for money.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to do that. She's trying to create a new life for herself.
Right.
And he just holds on her the whole time while she is kind of sighing and hemming and hawing and like forcing herself to push the words out, and her face changes and her eyes shut, and he just holds on her, and she does so much so subtly that I was moved by it and wowed by what it does. As far as the darkness too, like you get this sense of like everything is closing in on her. Like every attempt she makes to find a job, even like the most menial part-time job, you feel her increasing desperation and isolation, and things are just closing in on her. And the thing with Kiefer Sutherland as her boyfriend, like, what's that about? Is that really love? Is it anything? Is it just companionship because she's desperate? You don't really know, and the mystery of that's kind of interesting. He's very good in this, in a very different role for him too. He's kind of a sweet, down in his luck guy in this. So I was really surprised by the performances, and I thought it's a rich sense of place in a kind of New York we don't always see.
Yeah, and again, like I know I keep complaining about this. I think that this movie would have been terrific and something really, really worth seeing. There were points at which I found myself like kind of covering my ears. It was like,
I hear you.
Yeah, but
no pun intended.
But apart from that, I think it is really good, and there's a level of kind of desperation and tragedy, and you realize that, I mean, it is, she can't catch a break, and Kiefer Sutherland can't seem to either, and he's arguably as broken as she is.
Yeah. He's functioning in the outside world a little more convincingly than she is. It's the only difference that there is. So.
All right.
We gotta do scores.
Oh, right. Your score. What's your score?
Like an 8.8.
8.8? Well, that's higher
9,
than I'm probably
maybe.
only going to give it like a 6.
Okay, I'm gonna say 9. You can say
Okay.
6. That makes math really easy.
Which is
7.5.
7.5.
Thank you.
Glad we had you here, Ben.
Ben and Alonso are here too.
We finished doing our thing so I could pay attention to the end. So who's in this movie?
That would be Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman.
Yeah.
Like you've never seen her before. Better than Grease 2
got
even,
it.
which is a movie that
And-
I love very dearly.
And Donald
Grace,
Sutherland.
too.
I got it. That was supposed to
High praise for me. So yeah, go. Where's Kyra? Someplace limited, but yes, go find it.